You know, they say once is an accident, twice a coincidence. Do Chelsea's fans really want the third round, or should we follow Mortal Kombat's rules and just safely admit that this year's Brighton is simply stronger than current Chelsea? Generally speaking, it's not like the Seagulls are that strong now. After all, they have swallowed a crushing defeat from Nottingham Forest 0-7 that could have affected any team deep enough to drown into a crisis. But they have learned their lesson and defeated Chelsea instead, twice. Both games were not super exciting, rather boring, with just 5 shots on target divided between teams in different order. And that distribution was not in Chelsea's favor. Now, some people can say having too many players in the squad can be a hard burden to bear. Letting go such top performers as Lukaku, Joao Felix and others may have seemed to look logical. But you should always consider injuries. So now it's only Maresca's problem not having enough qualified players to show expected results. So the FA Cup's game started very much in Chelsea's favor. Palmer just hit the ball inside the box and Verbruggen, well, proved why new Belgian coach must do whatever it takes to bring back Thibaut Courtois, because if Belgium loses to Ukraine in Nations League's playoff, you got the feeling. So Chelsea took the lead as Verbruggen happened to land inside the goal together with the ball, and it looked promising for them, but the very first Brighton's attack resulted in an equalizer. Veltman sent the ball inside the box and Rutter scored a perfect header to the far corner. And basically there was nothing else to see in the first half except for a few yellow cards. And the first dangerous moment in the second half turned into the last goal of the game, also showing the importance of FA Cup to organizers and participants. I mean, no to war, yes to silly goals and penalties. This time, when Mitoma sent the ball to Lamptey, the last one shot and caught the ball back with his full palm. But refs haven't noticed it, and Rutter, after the interception, sent the ball into the box where Mitoma took it, probably with his shoulder or even part of the hand or face, unclear. But then he managed to score, and that event mattered the most. And remaining 35 plus minutes weren't enough for Chelsea to make at least one shot on target. This is outrageous. Brighton goes to the round of 16 and Chelsea needed to make some adjustments before the rematch that happened on Friday. Clearly it was only Verbruggen who just decided not to wrap any more gifts to the opponents, as Chelsea played even worse than in the FA Cup. Basically the only shot on target was done by Nkunku on the 88th minute and Verbruggen made a lovely save. For some reason it was not counted as shot on target, but it barely matters. Of course we can mention the goal by Enzo Fernandez, but he pushed his opponent and that one wasn't counted fairly. And in total it was the continuation of the FA Cup's game, but with more energy from Brighton and completely drained Chelsea. Brighton's domination was converted into a goal in a very surprising way. Verbruggen played a long ball and Mitoma with just 3 touches made a fool out of Chalobah and scored a goal to the far corner. Brilliant job, but I have some questions to Gusto, who just decided to stop and watch the football from the front seat, instead of potentially helping his teammate in case Mitoma would have done something he actually did. Then Pedro Neto had his 2 half moments and Enzo scored his ruled out goal, and after that Seagulls doubled their lead. I think Maresca could have made a few scars from his face palms about his team's defense skills. Probably the same as Pochettino before him, when Jackson and others were fighting for a chance to score a penalty instead of Palmer last season. Do you remember the team's unity and Gallagher's captain skills who ruled that situation out? Now look at Chelsea's defense position. 7 defenders inside the box, 5 of them watching football as 3 Brighton's players are trying to decide which one should score the next goal. And when defenders partially decided to do something, it was too late and Minteh made the score 2-0. Gusto tried to fix it, but his shot was just wide and also Caicedo was booked, so nothing else except for Madueka's injury worth mentioning in the first half. And not much has changed after the break, right until Welbeck and Minteh created Brighton's 3rd goal, which basically closed the game. All Enzo Fernandez could do about it was getting booked. Chelsea tried to show what they can do, but ultimately got a couple of corners, while Brighton could have scored even more goals, but either missed the target or Jorgensen saved his team from even bigger disappointment. Incoming subs didn't affect the game in any way, so the final result is 3-0 and oh my! Next Chelsea's opponent is Aston Villa, and Brighton will face Southampton, which is currently deep down in the table, waving their flags and inviting Chelsea to join the relegation positions if they continue playing like that.